Good evening and welcome to Channel 7's VFL replay. Tonight, the Eagles take on North Melbourne under lights at the MCG. And aside from that, they are also out to break an 18-year hoodoo to become the first side from the state to win on that ground, apart from a pre-season victory over Melbourne earlier this year. Chris Lewis, Carl Langdon and David Hart return to the Eagles side. And despite their thrashing at the hands of Hawthorn last weekend, the Roos, with a 75% success rate under lights, must not be taken lightly. We join the action at the centre bounce.
Tonight, Ross Glendinning on the full. Law, so away we go. The start of round 6. Bounce favours Ashenko in the end. He knocks it forward. It's taken wide of the pack by Dean Laidley of the Eagles, and immediately they move into attack down towards Chris Lewis in the square. He's not required. It goes through for a goal.
Well, what a remarkable start. Comment you made, Dennis, Steve McCann's actually lined up on Ross Glendinning, and Darren Harris is doing the ruck work, which is a pretty different move to start the game. As we watch this kick from Dean Laidley, and wasn't it a marvellous kick? From 19 seconds the goal has taken to kick, and marvellous shepherding by Chris Lewis.
So a great start for the West Coast Eagles, going to a 6-point advantage in the opening 20 seconds of the game. Let's from the middle once again. A big assignment for this young North Melbourne side tonight, being led by John Law. Bounce of the ball was won by McDonald, pushed down towards the half-forward line. Zanotti strong in defence from half-back. Puts it out wide. The Eagles have got players running and a chance through Laidley to clear again. He'll drop back into the centre, going long up towards Rance. Fisted away from him. He's got a chance once again. The ball goes to ground. As Peter Donegan mentioned, conditions perhaps a little slippery. Hasn't been a lot of rain in recent hours.
And already Donald McDonald and Murray Rance just disagreeing over which piece of turf they should both be on.
Just renewing acquaintances. McDonald 25, Rance 23. Here's the bounce again. Rance up a mile too early, but he's still got the tap down. However, went to Peter German, who kicks high to the outer side of the ground. No one able to take the mark. Hart chasing. And the ball eventually going over the line on that outer side for another throw-in. Jonas in picture. Well, he's had terrible troubles with leg injuries. I'm sure all of not only North Melbourne fans, but football fans would wish him well. Ashenko unable to get it out. Ball goes to ground. A hurried kick going up towards Cracker on the 50-metre line. He can't pick it up. Was looking for the free kick. Didn't come his way. A handball goes astray, however. This allows North to go into attack once again. Down to the 30 metres, they surge forward. Zanotti putting the pressure on. The pack develops just 20 metres out from goal. Still going to be kept in play. A hurried kick going right across the face of goal. The kick was by Jason Love. It goes out of bounds. On the full, and it will be Hart to bring the ball back into play.
David Hart back in this side after injury. Around the outer side with a high kick. McDonald is there. Eventually North with an opportunity. This is German. He's slung. Hand passes to no one in particular. They battle after the ball. It's going to be a Rance free kick, and again he and McDonald tangle. And Rance has the ball alongside the centre circle. Murray Rance sends it out wide. Worsfold takes the mark. Nothing gained there. Worsfold is on centre wing. Sends it long down towards the half-forward line. Law could have been interfered with. Gastiff comes over the top and takes the mark. John Gastiff, who's been a star this season for the West Coast Eagles, inside 50 metres now.
Also, Matthew Larkin has picked up Gastiff as we watch this great mark of his coming over the top. And Matthew Larkin in a very strange role of playing defender, and I'd suggest running on and off the ball with Gastiff.
Phil Cracker also cast in the role of a defender tonight, so they're ringing the changes, all of them defensive from North's point of view. Gastiff, a long kick and a good one.
From the centre bounce, no one able to effectively get it away. The West Coast Eagles going to a 12-point lead. North Melbourne fans are not happy because Lamb has been given the free kick out of the middle. So the Eagles go into attack again down towards the half-forward line. Langdon flying past, pushes the ball out in front of him. Onto the left foot he goes. Is it going to spin back for him? Glendinning is there, can tap it over the back, does so to Lewis, and there's another one.
Oh, what fantastic play, Ross Glendinning. Wasn't that brilliant? Just his awareness of knowing that Chris Lewis was there. Great play by Langdon. What a dasher he is, and what isn't that remarkable play by Ross Glendinning?
And a remarkable start by the West Coast Eagles.
Here we go as Langdon screwed that ball beautifully back into the front of the goal square, and Ross Glendinning with that very, very clever tap.
Yes, even the North Melbourne fans and the West Coast Eagles fans alike applauding that one. Great play from the centre again. What can North Melbourne do to stop this run? It's been an enormous start. It's tapped over the back now. Law first to the football. Tries to charge his way through. Does so. Goes long up towards the half-forward line. Plenty of flyers. Lockyer it is who picks it up for the Eagles. Pushes it out wide to the outer side of the MCG, and it goes over the line. And a throw-in to take place. But the Eagles, 3 straight goals. 18 behinds, leading North Melbourne, who have still yet to put a point on the board.
Remarkable start by these Eagles. They've really fired up tonight, at least to start with. Can North respond? Harris falls over. Schenker tries to knock it out. Harris goes again. Scrambled forward by German, down towards the pocket. The mark is taken by Brennan. Brennan in the back pocket, kicks it towards centre field. Renstead is there, almost the mark in front taken by Spargo. Spargo comes again, soccers it wide. Now an opportunity for North, off the ground by McDonald. Barrich falls over. Spargo, the soccer kick towards half forward. Knocked forward there by Allison, only as far as Laidley. Laidley back towards centre wing. Nicely gathered out there by McRae. Dragged off the hand pass across towards Cracker. He's put down. Renstead gets a hand pass across to Barrich. He's claimed. The ball is jarred free, and here gets it across to Worsfold. Worsfold on centre wing, pulls it back towards centre half forward. Langdon gets on the end of it. Wheels onto his left foot, Langdon. Goes down towards the pocket. Up in front down there, Glendinning. Lewis, he's already got 1 goal. 50 metres out, pulls it back, intended for Langdon. In from the side, Phil Cracker got it to the ground. Was he held by Gastev? Yes, he was, and he'll get the free kick just as well.
So Phil Cracker, Barry Cable on the phone, going short to his skipper for tonight. In Law, German out wide on the outer side, opposed by Turner. Peter German. Long towards the half-forward line, but it's fisted back to the centre. Literally thrown out to Buckley, who's flying past. He goes even wider. Back to German. North into attack, but they're going short down towards that half-forward line. And Hart once again stops a promising attack. Hart at half-back. The Eagles, 3 straight goals on the board. He goes back towards the centre once again. Langdon will be the flyer over the top. Pushed down towards Lamb. Swinging back onto his left foot. Does so now. Over the head of Gastev. In front of him is Cracker, Phillip, towards the boundary line. North fans cheering again as the ball will be relayed back to Philip Cracker for his second free kick in as many minutes. North defence under plenty of pressure at the moment. Larkin, he's an exciting player when he's going. To the half-forward line, Miles up high, an effective spoil, pushes it down. Rushed forward towards Zanotti, tackled high, according to Peter Cameron. And he'll take the free kick at half-back.
So the dasher, Mark Zanotti with the ball. In front of what is a very small crowd tonight at the MCG. He centres it. Intended for Rance. Knocked away by McDonald. This is McRae. McRae pumps it back into the forward line. In front down there, Clarkson. Waiting behind Brennan. Well shepherded by Hart. It comes across to Zanotti. Zanotti at half-back. Kicks towards centre wing. Good mark is taken in front by a diving Law. Strong mark. Hand pass to Harris. Harris, who's a long kick, drives it deep. Bryce works his way to the front, fisted away by Lockyer. Schenko tried to tap it on, putting his head down out there was Ania. Was it a free kick? No. Play on is the call. Ania centres it in short. Zanotti takes the mark. I think the free was paid initially, and then he was told to play on. Zanotti kicks towards centre wing. Gastev cleverly across towards Langdon. Langdon, deft deflection, gets it to Turner. Turner the high kick. It'll bounce in no man's land. Spargo the first to arrive. Hooks it with his left foot around the outer side, but directly to Turner.
So Turner looking to play on. Does so now, runs his full distance, then goes onto the left foot, deep in towards Lewis. At the back, Glendinning. A favourable bounce. Is this goal number 4? It is.
8 remain in this term. There's the bounce. West Coast by 24 points. They work it forward yet again towards their half-forward line. North lead in all directions to the ball. It's taken by McCann. A high kick back towards his own half-forward line. Schenko's in front, and that's a very strong mark. Courageous mark, too, by the big fellow. Going back with the flight of the ball, Alex Schenko. Just forward of centre half-back. Great start by the Eagles. Short passes intelligently. Worsfold the mark, plays on quickly, having a fine season. It goes out wide, not a good kick, and the mark is taken in front in defence by Martin. So Martin, who was listed to start at full back, in the back pocket, sends play around the outer side. Smith is up in front, knocked away by Ashenko, taken by Laidley to Renstead. Renstead back to Laidley. Laidley goes for the chip pass in short. Rance, strong mark in front of McDonald.
The Eagles doing all the attacking at the moment. Murray Rance going up to the half-forward line. Out comes Glendinning, uses the body delightfully, and he'll have another shot at goal.
Yes, and it was delightful too, wasn't it? Just to see that little nudge, just kept his ground. Just notice North Melbourne players, when an Eagles player gets it, the ball, two of them are attacking him and the other one leaving an Eagles player loose. They've just got to learn to fade off a bit more.
Glendinning going for his second and the Eagles' fifth straight. He hasn't got it, pushing it right across the face of goal. Langdon goes up. There's a couple of them waiting at the back. Is this another one? It is. Gastev.
Well, when you're hot, you're hot. It was remarkable. There was enough North Melbourne players there, but Gastev, as we watch this replay now, you'll see there's three North Melbourne players there. They've all gone forward. The ball's gone back. Who was left there but two West Coast Eagle players?
So two to Gastev now. And North must be wondering what has hit them. Back in the centre, the margin already is 30 points. Ishenko tries to get it out of the centre. Can't do so. A hurried kick goes high. Cracker forced to defend from behind, but he's not good enough. And he beats him on this occasion. And he'll take the defending kick from half back. Drifting the ball back into the centre. Rance comes over the top for the spoil. Here they go again. Loose is Renstead. Long up towards the half-forward line. Glendinning's the target again. Again, it was a 2-on-1. Gastev gets a high kick. Now Lewis, front position. But the ball just beating him over the line. And so another throw.
Sandy, 12-minute mark. Jim Cracker hasn't had a run on the ball yet. He's been permanent forward pocket.
Perhaps you'd like a word with John Kennedy.
No, it's just interesting, actually.
McCann. And Glendinning. Glendinning almost had it stolen. Comes wide. Gastev will see it over the line. He was under plenty of pressure from German. No, it's kept in play. Turner still has it. It comes clear. Cracker now tackled too high, and he'll take a free kick. Plays on quickly. Back to German, who's still tucked in the back pocket.
German around the outer side with a high kick. Ashenko nudged out of it, almost the mark behind Zanotti. Socket off the ground by Harris, down towards half forward for North. Can they make something of this? This is Clarkson. Got a little hand pass across to Larkin. Larkin goes in short, but sensing the danger, Barrich gets back. Well played, Barrich, to Ania. He's tagging Jim Cracker. Miles has the ball. Miles goes out wide with a kick, and the mark is taken by Ashenko. I suggest that John Kennedy was fully aware coming into this game of a likely tag on Jim Cracker. He's tried to be a little clever, but at the moment, the Eagles have got a great start because of it. North playing out of positions. Over the top, Bryce takes a good mark. Can they come back now? Bryce will kick from outside 50. He was listed to start in the back pocket. Bryce, way off target. Not a good kick. North have got the numbers down there. The ball spills out of bounds. Off hands, was it? No. Yes, it was, in fact. We'll have a boundary throw in. Bryce immediately, having kicked the ball over the boundary line, goes down to do some of the ruck work. Will be opposed by Ashenko. In fact, Jonas is there too. Bryce comes over the top, fists it back towards the centre. Over the ball, Allison couldn't do much with it. Scramble develops, and the umpire will move in to ball it up.
North Melbourne still yet to score. That fan tells the story. I don't think she's too happy. It's 40 metres out from the North scoring zone. Oh, Jonas made a charge and has given away the free kick.
Did he jump too high, did he?
Ashenko has it to Lockyer. They're out of trouble again. Wider to Hart. Gets boot to ball. Gains probably 25 metres. And again, it's out of bounds on that outer side of the ground. West Coast Eagles, 5 straight goals on the board. Two 26s doing battle, Ashenko and Harris. Goes clear into the centre. Larkin could be first to it. What sort of a bounce will he get? He's running away from him. He might get sandwiched. Gets clear. Tried to get it back to Law. Lamb's on his hammer. Lamb still going. Wider to Langdon. He'll go over the top. Partly intercepted, however. The opportunity is now with Allison and Cracker. Back to Larkin. North fiddling about. Now Law. Steadies. Past centre wing. Was meant for Jason Love. He does have assistance through Smith. Back to Love. His kick is a poor one, going into the right forward pocket. It's going to be kept in play, but perhaps only momentarily. And we'll see a throw in North's right forward pocket after Miles deflects it over the line with Lockyer.
Had two great opportunities in North to set it up, and just their kicking skills let them down up forward then.
Their opportunity to score once again. Won by Ishenka. Pushes it out the back. Zanotti, I think, will take a free kick. According to umpire Cameron, held whilst not in possession. Coming up towards the wing, looking for Brennan. He has support in Barrett, who's beautifully tackled. The ball goes over the line. The North Melbourne fans don't like that decision by Peter Cameron, but it has been made. The North bench, rightfully so, looking a little concerned. Ishenko over the top. Larkin the opportunity to receive on that occasion from Smith, who for his endeavours has picked out a free kick. His kick again, I don't know whether it was meant for Cracker, but he's found him.
Started the game off very well, Sandy. Phil Cracker's got a lot of touches.
So Philip Cracker will kick from around 45 metres, going for goal number 195 for North Melbourne. Interestingly enough, his brothers kicked 198. There's the kick, and North are on the ball.
Donald and Ishenko. Out of the centre by Jim Cracker towards half forward. Zanotti leads in the race. Inside 10 minutes remaining now. Zanotti punches it ahead of himself, and it runs out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in just outside the 50-metre attacking line for North, who trail by 24 points. Mark Zanotti. Troy Ugle in the foreground there on the bench. One backward of the pack, or that was Harris's intention. Zanotti grabs it. Jimmy Cracker, high kick towards full forward. Bryce is down there. Over the top comes Lockyer. And the first behind of the game, forced for North.
And Jim Cracker on the ball and into the game straight away. Two important touches for North Melbourne.
Andrew Lockyer goes short and low. It's missed by Clarkson. Goes after it. Back to Phil Cracker. He'll go close from here, Phil Cracker. Does he punish the Eagles? No, he doesn't. Kind of missed by much. Lockyer taking a gamble. John Northey looks on. This side will be on this ground tomorrow, of course, against Essendon. Lockyer this time goes for distance. Members side. Pack into the air. Waiting behind Renstead across to Zanotti. He runs away from half-back. Chips in short. The mark is taken by Anea.
Anea goes on, but it's a wobbly old kick looking for Langdon, and he finds him. Plays on Langdon. I don't think his coach will be too happy with that, but they may get away with it as Rance hooks it over his shoulder, going high up into the forward line. North in front, and should clear through German. He goes wider to the outer side of the ground. The race is on. No marks taken. Play on is the call. First to it will be Turner with support. Hooks it back. Only to see Cracker there once again to take the mark. This is Jim to half-back Harris. The big fella goes round his body. It's a difficult one. Still virtually in the centre of the ground. Shenko gets the handball away, and again the Eagles are able to bring it clear with relative ease down towards the left half forward flank. An opportunity now. This is Renstead. Shepherding by Anea. Renstead's kick is high. Lewis flies. No one able to take the mark. Langdon tries to burst his way through. They go to ground. And North once again come away. Back towards the middle. Back towards Cracker. He has it fisted away from him. Trying to force his way through for North Melbourne is Spargo. Under pressure, but he gets clear onto his left foot and puts North into attack.
Out towards Jason Love. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. Miles in close attendance. And we'll have a boundary throw in out there. Activity now on the Kangaroos bench as the Eagles lead by 22 points. 7.5 minutes remaining in the term. Jonas in front. Ashenko over the top, wins it decisively. Hart knocks it down intelligently, taken by Turner. Zanotti in towards the middle of the ground. Buckley an opportunity to Jim Cracker. Over the top to Spargo. Spargo runs towards the 50-metre line. Vacant goal square. Getting back. An Eagle takes the mark down there. That's Laidley at full stretch right on the goal line. Great defence by Dean Laidley. Good vision too by Spargo. Ashenko colliding with him out there, Clarkson, and Ashenko gets up with an admonishing finger.
Goes to the outer side of the ground, finds Worsfold. Worsfold just chipping short, looking for Rance. On his hammer is McDonald. McDonald's first to recover, pushes it on all fours. Then he has support from Harris. His kick is high, however. No one at home. Worsfold, 1, 2, 3 grabs, and it's his. Thought about going across the ground to Ashenko. Now more directly up towards half forward. This is the danger zone for the Eagles because Glendinning is lurking in that area. McCann throws it out. German goes wide. Now an opportunity for North if they can pick it up. Spargo. Clear. The kick to the half forward line. And an opportunity for Jonas. Crowd wanting 50 metres. Not getting it. So Jonas goes short. Larkin drifts down to that half-forward line.
Just to tick the last 7 or 8 minutes, Sandy, that North Melbourne are starting to win more and more of the football.
Looking a lot better, aren't they?
Larkin kicking from around 47 metres. Hoping to get North's second goal for the night, and he's made no mistake.
One down by Ashenko, knocked on by Lamb. Langdon at close quarters back to Lamb. Towards half forward goes the kick. They battle after it. McRae got it out nicely to Jim Cracker, to Law. Law goes down towards half forward with the kick. Over the top, Laidley. Waiting behind Phil Cracker, but Barrett just in the nick of time got back there and knocked it away from Phil Cracker and put it out of bounds. So the ball will be thrown in front of the members' stand, about 60 metres around from the right-hand behind post, at the end of which North are attacking. It's the big scoreboard end. Ashenko's in front. Knocked away there by Harris. Going to ground Allison, but not before he got the ball across to Jonas. He pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Getting back is Lockyer, and Lockyer knocks it through for a behind. That's a couple he's been prepared to concede down there now. 2-3 North. The Eagles are 5 goals. And North coming back like a good side. Blitzed early. They've settled nicely now. This is Miles in the back pocket, breaking away. Long kick towards centre wing. Working his way to the front, McDonald. Opportunity behind for Langdon. Langdon on centre wing. Kicks down towards full forward. Out in front is McCann down there. Knocks the ball away. Ania in trouble. Gets out of it nicely to Glendinning. Glendinning 35 metres out from goal. It looks pretty good. It's another one for the Eagles.
Yes, well, North Melbourne looked to be in pretty good control there. Steve McCann came out in front of Ross Glendinning that time and got the ball forward. As we're just watching the replay now, and Steve McCann's done everything right there. And in fact, Ania, who went to handball to nobody, was full Jim Cracker. I mean, he really did get out of a lot of trouble there.
Glendinning, 2 goals to his credit. John Ania back in the Eagles' side. 15 plays 36, favouring the Eagles, and time winding down. Barrich tried to get it clear, but it was socket off the ground by Harris down towards North's half-forward line. Gasted coming over the top of the pack, and the umpire has no alternative but to force a bounce. North into attack and desperately keen if they can just get a couple more goals. To quarter time, it's Harris who wins the tap out, but it's Hart who takes it away. Down towards Langdon. Playing in front, but under great pressure. In fact, loses the football to Law. Law gets it out to German. German goes long, up towards full forward. Laidley is there, however, and takes it on the chest for the Eagles. He started well. Goes with a left foot. Barrich is the target. Sockers it towards the boundary line. He'll have another go, this time with his left foot. To centre wing. McDonald sliding over the line in these slippery conditions. Sees it over. So a throw in at centre wing. The Eagles coach John Todd. Over the back of Harris, taken by Larkin. Larkin goes wider to Love. His kick is high towards the 50-metre line. Fisted towards the boundary line. First to it, Hart. Chasing his cracker. And yet another throw-in to take place. North in attack. Yashenko and Harris. Won by Yashenko to Hart, who was looking for Miles, but he was just a metre ahead of him. Once again, the ball goes over the line. 2-3 North Melbourne. The West Coast Eagles yet to blemish their record as Hart pushes it clear. He's looking for Worsfold, but Larkin intervened to Spargo, who goes high in towards full forward. Off target, another behind. They move to 2-4. 20 points the deficit as Lockyer brings the ball back into play with just under 2 minutes to play.
Lockyer to the outer side. Law was up, couldn't take the mark, waiting behind Ania. All the time in the world around the outer side for John Ania. A high kick towards centre wing. McDonald in front, knocked on by Rance. Renstead does well, kept his balance. Close quarters to Turner. Turner long inside 50. Over the top came Martin, got a fist to it, but didn't knock it anywhere constructive. Opportunity behind now for Lewis. Lewis right on the boundary line, tries to pull it back. It's not a bad effort from Lewis. What a miraculous goal. Has 2 goals in this opening term. This is Jim Cracker trying to match the magic. Inside 50, fisted away from Bryce down there. Coming through solidly McRae, back towards full forward. Zanotti is running back. Hart is there too. Zanotti does well. Hart can't keep it in, it's out of bounds.
It's an interesting ploy the Eagles have got in that defensive area, Dennis, that they're all dropped back. And what's happening, the North Melbourne players, if they can just raise their eyes a bit, they can chip a lot of short passes.
Throw in North Melbourne's left forward pocket. Time winding down for them. Can they get another one before the first quarter? The kick's on its way from Jason Love, and it's good. (3-4), 22 to the West Coast Eagles, 7 straight goals. In fact, it was Alistair Clarkson who kicked it.
Yes, as we watch the replay, yes, Alistair Clarkson, actually, they look very similar. And what a great snap it was, and it got a great read off the pack.
So 1 to Clarkson of North 3. Again, the margin is 20 points. Just over 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Here's the centre bounce once again. Won by Harris. North looking to go into attack, but it's Hart who repels it. Then Gastev, longer. Glendinning caught behind. McCann got a bad bounce. So too did McDonald. Rance onto the left foot. What's the bounce like now for Lewis? He waited at the back. Langdon, another one. Yes.
Well, it's been a remarkable quarter of football. 11 goals, and the Eagles to kick 8 straight. And the reason why is they're attacking and getting hold of the ball so close into the goal square. There's been you can't really say there was much wrong with that, Dennis, other than the slippery ball again's beating him. And yes, gee, 11 goals and 8 straight.
Yep, great shepherd by Chris Lewis too there to get the man off Langdon's back.
Back in the centre. Very, very close to siren time. Harris goes high with a soccer ball, but all to no avail. It's quarter time, and a great start by the West Coast Eagles. They lead 8 straight goals, 48 to North Melbourne, 3-4, 22.
26 points, the Eagles' way. Bounce from umpire Cameron. It's one out of there by Harris. Going nowhere was Spargo. Ball is worked down towards the north half forward line. Larkin over it now. Confronted by Gastev. Well played by Larkin. He emerges with the ball. Sweeping hand pass out wide. Phil Cracker run down brilliantly by Turner. Opportunity now for Zanotti. He finds the boundary line. So some great football from players of both sides there. Initially Larkin to win the ball, and then Turner, a marvellous tackle. Throw in. Inside 50. Harris in front. Yashenko got into his back, according to the umpire. Wasn't much in it. I think it was magnified by Harris, but he'll go close from here. He'll take this kick about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Actually, Dennis, his ruck work in the centre hasn't been too bad. Ishenko is beating him around the ground, but in the centre he's very high indeed.
Yes, he's won his fair share. Darren Harris way off to the right-hand side. Through it goes for a minor score.
So North move to 3-5, trailing the West Coast Eagles with 8 straight goals. Luke Harris lumbers back to his position as Lockyer brings the ball back into play. Now Brennan from the back pocket, looking for Ishenko. 1, 2 grabs, not paid. Play on is the call. To the half-forward line once again. Jonas waited for the bounce, then did the shepherding work. In trouble was Smith. Still in trouble. And Peter Cameron eventually comes in.
I think he was caught in two minds then, young Sean Smith. He had a couple of options and none of them quite happened quickly enough for him.
So a bounce to take place between almost down to North's half-forward line. Won by Ishenko. Fisted high. Now wide to the wing. Larkin coming into the game. Law tackled by Langdon. Loses it. Ducking his head was Buckley. Play on is the call. A chance for German from 50 metres. Steadies. Fires in towards goal. Going over the top. Lockyer coming back on it, but it's off target anyway. And one behind only goes on the board.
Once again, the Eagles did that, Sandy. They all dropped back, and there's a lot of North Melbourne players from the short kick if they really want to use those players.
North have had more scoring shots at goal, but they trail by 24 points.
Worsfold marks the kick into play from Lockyer. Worsfold on the half-back flank. Ill-directed kick. It favours Law. Awkward half volley for him, taken by Gastiv. It comes back to the kicker. This is Worsfold, confronted by Buckley, and I think he'll get a free kick, John Worsfold. He's at right half-back, right on the boundary line. Similar sort of kick to the one that was just paid a moment ago to Buckley. It's the Worsfold kick along the grandstand wing, the members' side. Spargo, was he taken high? Yes, he was, and he'll get the free kick on centre wing. Paul Spargo driving North back towards their half-forward line. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Strong mark is taken in front by young Bryce. No, it's not Bryce. It's a new player on the ground. That's Hepburn, a former West Australian. So he's on the forward line now, having started on the interchange bench. And that was a very good mark. He played well against the Eagles at the Wacker in the second round, second series of matches last season. He can kick it a long way, Mark Hepburn. From about 60 metres out, that's a very long kick, just off target. Through it goes for a minor score.
Yes, it was a very good mark, Dennis. Ishenko had his name written all over it. And I suppose the easy thing to say now is Ishenko should have punched, but Blake Hepburn just sort of slipped in front of him and took a very, very good mark.
The Eagles standing by to bring Ugle onto the ground. This time Lockyer goes to the outer side again, looking for Ishenko. This time backup support through Dwayne Lamb, wider to Zanotti. Going to be pressured towards the boundary line. Keeps it in play. Ugle makes his way onto the ground. The ball was out of bounds. Coming off for the West Coast Eagles is Murray Renstead.
Seems to be a thing that happens each week to him. Dennis?
Yes.
Murray Renstead on and off the ground.
Harris and Ishenko coming up in from the side was Jonas. Zanotti soccers in towards the centre and Lamb looks for the player going past, finds him in Worsfold. He's clear, ball to ground once, then with a left foot just a little chip up towards the half-forward line. Good interception, however, and North once again are able to bring the ball back towards their half-forward line. Big Ishenko's lumbering towards it. He gets caught over the line by Jonas. Keeps the ball in play, however. Towards Lamb, tried to hook it back. That's effective. Now Gastev towards half-forward. Glendinning forced on the defensive, pushes it down in the front, then applies a tackle that is too high. The bottom of the pack is Peter German. And he'll put North into attack.
German towards half-forward. Smith was up in front, knocked away by Miles, and near, only as far as Smith. Smith breaks away, goes down towards the forward area, and the mark is taken on the slide by Bryce. He's about 40 metres out from goal, perhaps a shade closer. Paul Bryce has been quite lively on the forward line.
Eagles making another change, Dennis. Schenko off and Scott on.
Let's see what Bryce can do from here then. Should get the distance. Sends it goalward. It looks pretty close. Just missed. Alex Schenko. And another behind registered by North Melbourne. 3-8 to 8 straight. Miles towards the outer side. Scott in from the side. Couldn't take the mark. Roving the pack, an opportunity for Bryce. Gets it across to German. Hand pass comes to Allison. Allison gets the goal.
19 minutes remaining of the first half. Centre bounce. Can North continue the surge? Scott, who came on to replace Schenko, tries to get it clear. He's got support. This is Laidley going in towards Glendinning and the boundary line. He's under pressure too, and is quite happy to see it over the line. So a throw in the Eagles attacking zone. And they're seeing North Melbourne really close the margin. A big fist again towards the boundary line. Barrett won't get there in time, but another throw in will take place. John Kennedy with him, John Dugdale. Two great names. Scott wins it. Spargo soccer style over the shoulder, but it didn't get very far. Almost thrown out by Scott. Laidley's under pressure. Scott again. Now Larkin a chance for North. Tackled by Gastev. Larkin still going. Socket clear down towards the 50-metre line. Was it out on the full? Must have just bounced inside. And the players not going anywhere fast at the moment on that outer side of the ground. Rance and McDonald. McDonald claimed and goes back on Rance again. Peter Cameron says the ball was held. Donald McDonald agrees, and so a bounce will take place.
Can't do more than that if you're an umpire. If the players agree. Up goes McCann. It's one down, in fact, by Glendinning. Taken by Spargo. High kick towards centre wing. Scott, good use of the body. Over the top came Jonas. Allison tries to soccer it off the ground. Socket forward by Jonas around the outer side eventually. Now it's a foot race. Miles in front. Sean Smith picks up. Claimed by Ania, but a push in the back against Smith initially. And the kick will be taken, I think, by Ania. Or, in fact, it's coming across to Miles. Miles, who led the race back for that ball. High kick. All the Eagles out there. Barrett takes the mark, virtually uncontested. Barrett on centre wing. Kicks towards centre half forward. Langdon, good strong mark. Langdon, though, he's been penalised, and the kick will go to Law.
Well, if the other one was one, I suppose that was.
Just. Law from half back. Kicks towards half forward. Smith is up in front, knocked away by Miles.
Back in towards the centre again. North fans starting to cheer. Spargo body over the ball. He caught one in the side of the head. Rance clear with the football, but he needs support. Pushes it wide past Gastev and Lamb. John Law again in trouble at the bottom of the pack. They're going in hard now. McDonald is with him. And Peter Cameron says, better give me the football.
Just feel the pressure, the screws coming onto this game, and this is a very, very important time for both sides.
Almost at the 50-metre line, Scott gets up high, wins it out to Lamb. He goes for a little chip in towards the pocket, looking for Lewis. With him is Glendinning. They're arguing over it. Will you take it or me? Here, I'll give it to you. And they mucked it up.
No place for gentlemen out there.
I don't think I would have shared the ball, Dennis. I'm sure I would.
It was crying out for somebody to make a decision, wasn't it?
Yes.
So that's the first blemish on the Eagles scoreboard. 8 goals, 1 to 4-8. Just under 16 minutes remaining of this first half. Tapped over the back. Rance will be first to the football for the Eagles. Langdon can help him. They both go to ground. Now Cracker a chance. Goes in towards the middle. Zanotti comes to meet him. Almost collides. Socket off the ground. In the centre still. North showing far greater determination this quarter. Jonas with strength. Now gets it across to his teammate. That was Robertson. In towards full forward. Over the top it goes. But one behind only. It was kicked by Brett Allison, who kicked the goal earlier in this quarter. And it prompts John Kennedy to get onto the phone. North 4-9. Trailing the Eagles 8-1.
Lockyer in short. Into the path of Ania. Run down from behind by Jimmy Cracker. Great.
No.
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 Dear, oh dear.
Oh, I hope sharpest decision. Worst one I've ever seen. Unbelievable. Oh.
Former North Melbourne Brownlow medalist Malcolm Blight. I don't think he's happy. Kick it towards centre field. Latham is up. Behind is Law. Knocked forward out there by Ugle. Taken by Worsfold. Gets it to Lamb. Lamb's on centre wing. Breaks away. Not a good kick. And the mark is taken in defence by Martin. So suddenly, this game has come to life. Martin drives it around the outer side wing. Zanotti is out there. So is Buckley. Buckley of North. Swung by Barrett. Zanotti onto the loose ball. Breaks away. Good Shepherd. Bad luck out there for Ugle. He fell over. Crashing his way through is McDonald. In fact, no one stood in front of him. He sends it back towards centre wing. Down goes Laidley. Hepburn lays it off. Allison. This is Buckley on the run. North looking good now. Centres the ball. Spearing pass. And Jonas juggles it. Jonas will kick from 50. And North, who gave away a big start, are coming right back. 4-9 to 8-1. This will test Jonas from here.
Yes, he used to be a great kicker of a football.
Short one is on. It's a shocker. Intended, I think, for Phil Cracker. It matters not. This is Lamb thumping it back towards centre wing. Larkin leads in the race. Larkin on the outer side. Plenty of time. Back towards the pocket goes the kick. Robertson chose to wait. He was pretty lucky it came onto him. He couldn't hang onto it, though. Worsfold committed to the ball. And we've got a boundary throw in. Phil Cracker picking himself up slowly.
Still 16 points the margin, but North trying to make every post a winner in the closing stages of this second quarter. Past Robertson it goes again. He couldn't take it cleanly. Back towards Ugle. Marks for the Eagles. They've got Langdon loose across that half-forward line. He can virtually bounce his way up to the 50-metre line. Law's catching him. Almost got him, but he got his kick in. Lewis waits at the back, and it's defensively and cleverly tapped over the back. 1 point only is the result, but a great chase by John Law.
Going back to that Peter Jonas kick, he really tried to kick it too hard over that shorter distance. You've really got to let the player run into the football.
The Eagles lead 8-2 to North Melbourne's 4-9. German in strife. McDonald soccers off the ground, then gives chase again. He's almost taken out of it. Turner got a quick kick, ill-directed, taken by Law, tumbles a punt. Miles will get there first. He's got support in Laidley. Both miss it. A chance for Cracker. He needs help. Still with Cracker. And he still needs help. No, he doesn't. He says, I'll do it on my own. Philip Cracker. Into the pocket he goes. Unable to get there is Paul Bryce. And the ball goes over the line.
Hasn't there been some remarkable individual performances in the quarter and a bit that we've had thus far?
But that's talking about Lewis's goal. And that performance there by Cracker at rank high. Superb stuff by Phil Cracker at half forward. Hepburn tries to knock it behind the pack. Soccers it off the ground. Down goes Bryce. Knocked out of there by an Eagle. I think it was Miles. Boundary line is found, and we'll have a throw-in. Torrid affair now, this one. Inside 12 minutes and counting. Scott works his way to the front. Jonas comes over the top. Bryce couldn't hang on. This is Hart running out of space. And it will be thrown in once more.
See that excellent play then. Jonas obviously set up Jim Cracker to be on the run towards goal and come over the top.
Scott misses. Opportunity behind. Missed by Clarkson. Breaking away is Hart. Sends play towards the outer side. Nudged by Lamb. Ball favours Langdon. He's run down by McRae, but manages the kick. Not a good one, though. This is McCann. The defence is standing up well now for North. Away comes Spargo. Running up through the middle, Paul Spargo. Long telling kick. Deep into attack. Hepburn is up. Knocked away. Jonas cleverly across to Jim Cracker. Great tackle by Worsfold. It jarred free. Laidley scrambles it out. Here's an opportunity again, though, for Spargo.
Spargo swinging back from 50 metres. Almost gets claimed. Gets his kick in time. Zanotti is back there. So too is Lockyer. And it's the latter who sees it over the line for another behind. North really applying the pressure. 14 scoring shots at goal, but they've managed only 4 goals. 4 goals, 10 to the Eagles, 8-2. Back into play with Turner in the back pocket. His wobbly old left foot kick doesn't gather a lot of distance, and the mark's taken by Brett Allison. He's under pressure, however, goes backwards to Law. A hurried high kick down towards the forward line once again. Fisted down in front. Past Jonas it goes. Back to Jonas it comes. He gets it out to Robertson. Robertson onto the left foot down towards full forward. A chance now for Larkin. Going to run into trouble. He's got to beat 3 of them, and he has. He snaps it. Oh, he's kicked it.
And then pulls North to within 10 points. We're back in the middle. One down by Scott. Anir off the ground. Bear in mind the Eagles kicked the first 4 goals of the game. This is Lamb. Has it on the outer side. Swings it down towards half forward. It bounces just inside the boundary line and goes out of play. 9:44 remains in this term. And this bench will be happier now. They've worked their way back into it strongly. McDonald goes again. Got it to McRae. Allison to Spargo. Spargo exerting an influence on this game in the centre. Long down towards half forward. Ill-directed this time. Lockyer, sensing the danger, comes up and takes the mark on his chest. Andrew Lockyer across the goal face. That's dangerous. Jonas needed to knock it. Now he does. Bryce is a natural left footer, taken high. Play allowed to go on. Jonas thought it was a free kick. It goes looking for support. German on the boundary line. Centering kick. Miles, good use of the body. Now he leads back in the race. Jeff Miles runs it out to left half back. A high kick towards centre wing.
No one able to take the mark. Ball comes in towards the centre. A chance for North again, but he gets claimed. Past Langdon, now Law. A hurried left foot kick by the North skipper, going towards the half-forward line. Further tapped on by McRae. But again, the Eagles' defence having to tighten. It's Hart's high kick past Anir it goes. The bounce will finish up favouring him. Gets clear of Cracker, needs support. Was looking for Langdon, but Law intercepts. Gets a quick kick out towards the wing, towards Peter German. German over the top. North using handball. Now Jimmy Cracker. Can he get there first? I think he might lose it. No, he's got it.
Pretty good experience, and he didn't grab the ball. He just sort of leant back and
Propped over
the kick. Yes.
Jim Cracker to his brother. So North to go inside 50 again. No mark taken. Jonas was there. He's had a much better quarter as well. But the entire North team has lifted. Miles can't get an effective kick, so he scoops it over the head of Troy Ugle. Through comes Law with strength. Gets it across to his teammate in McRae. Under pressure. Back to Law. A high hurried kick to the 50-metre line. Miles forced onto the defensive. Punches it clear.
Barrett in front. Claimed by Allison. Good work by Allison. Goes back and wins the ball. This is Larkin. Larkin on the boundary line. Centering kick. Knocked away down there from Jonas by Zanotti. It's going to be a free kick. Jonas is getting it free. Interference according to the umpire. It'll be interesting to look at that one again.
Here we go again as Peter Jonas almost marks that, and then was grabbed. Probably slightly technical, but nevertheless was there.
High price to pay, perhaps, for the West Coast Eagles. Didn't see much in that one. Here's Jonas. Not a bad-looking kick. He may have just missed. He has. They needed that. But what a turn by the Kangaroos. They've come storming back. They trailed by just 9 points. They trailed by 26 at quarter time. And this defence absorbing a lot of pressure for the Eagles. Needs to be knocked forward by Allison. He does that. Jonas goes into Worsfold. And we'll have a boundary throw in out there. No damage done. Jonas back in this side. He's been ill-fated since coming across from South Australia.
Bryce off and Smith on for North Melbourne. Just saw him there on the bench. Wide towards Barrett. Support through Gastev. Towards Langdon. With him is Law. Law's certainly tightened. He's in front spot. Langdon not happy. Law content to see it over the line. Alex Ashenko has been replaced by Phil Scott. He's standing by to come back out onto the ground for the last few minutes of this second quarter. Anir has it flicked to him. Going to go back. It'll be an Eagles free kick. Hart. In towards the left half forward flank. Through goes Turner. Gets clear. Chance now for the Eagles to score. Looks like Scott shooting towards Glendinning with one hand. Comes out the back. Glendinning's got to do it on his own here. And he's going to be beaten by McCann. Gets clear. Well, Ashenko's just walked onto the ground. Kicks it to Langdon. Langdon with a high left foot snap. He's pulled it too far too far. In fact, it's gone out of bounds in the right forward pocket. (8-2) the Eagles, 50, holding a 9-point break at the moment over North Melbourne, who fought back well. Ashenko and Harris, neither can take the mark. It's close to the boundary line. Miles, I think it might have just about been over on the full. Robertson, no.
Yes.
No, the umpire said no. Well, there's one for what's your decision. You at home, what did you think? It's not going to change things anyway. Miles hooking it over the left shoulder. Cracker with courage. Right, that's Jim Cracker. He's at a half-back.
Very gutsy mark, that one. It wasn't to know it was only Law behind him. This is Law with the ball now. Law, members side, high kick. Missed down there by Harris. Waiting behind, it's taken by Zanotti. Zanotti back to half forward. War one as he kicked the ball. The mark is taken by Law. The feeling in this game, it started slowly. The Eagles were quick out of the blocks, but not a lot of tempo in it. And suddenly North have really come back. This is Phil Cracker. They'll contest about 50 metres out from North's attacking goal. Opportunity for Allison. It was at Clarkson. He knocked it on Clarkson. Socket off the ground by Jonas. It's running towards goal. It's a goal.
To 47. And North have made this a thriller. Yashenko goes with a big left hand. Still with German, however, at centre wing. Laidley taps it down towards Turner. He loses it once. Goes in again. Gets claimed. Play on is the call. North inspired at the moment, but Hart is going to halt this attack. David Hart from half-back. Ugle is off the ground. Renstead back on. Langdon can't mark. Scooped out the back. An opportunity for Lamb. He's inside 50. Goes onto his left foot. Kicks towards goal, but it's wide. And it's out of bounds on the full.
Good chase then by Ben Buckley from North Melbourne. He really just put enough pressure, physical presence on that Lamb kick.
Martin's got the football. Only a novice, as you can see. Around the outer side goes the kick. Ashenko is up, looking to knock forward. Out of midair by Gastev. Deep into the heart of the defence now of North Melbourne. Opportunity for Glendinning. Glendinning with his left foot. Pulls it back across his body. Lewis is down there battling with Martin. Martin does well. Crashing in was Lamb. Lewis, his third. I think he's got it. He has.
Again, the Eagles steady with an important goal from Lewis. The margin is back to 9 points. We're back in the middle again. Gastev couldn't take it cleanly. Larkin can. Got one for his trouble too, but nevertheless the kick is effective to Clarkson. They play on again, however. Trouble because Miles will push it out wide towards Zanotti. Goes further forward, only to see Clarkson intercept again. Hooking it back towards full forward. Lockyer comes over the top to effect the spoil. Cracker an opportunity. No, he leaves it. Hepburn's high kick back towards full forward. The mark not taken. Play on is the call. Spargo will have a shot at goal for North. It wobbles goalwards but is off target. One behind. 6-12 North Melbourne. The West Coast Eagles 9-2. 8 points the margin. Just over a minute and a half remaining. Lockyer going short again. He was looking for Langdon. Jonas almost made the perfect interception. He's got backup support through German. The ball drifts into the left forward pocket. And we'll see a throw in just 15 metres around from the North scoring zone. They've been doing the bulk of the peppering this quarter. 6-12. Plays 9-2. Shot of Peter German. The shot at goal. It's Hepburn, and he's done it.
Almost on half-time in this thrilling game.
57 seconds remain. Ashenko taps it down. Gastev, who's been quiet, goes to ground. Worsfold will get a free kick. Worsfold alongside the centre circle with the clock running. Can the Eagles get a late goal? He sends the ball high inside 50. They'll contest. Glendinning close to 2 as you saw. North Melbourne bring it away again. done a lot of that tonight. Prepared to soccer it off the ground. Great courage shown by Brennan. Gets it out to Gastev. Gastev outside 50. That's a good-looking kick. It goes down towards Barrich. Great courage shown by McDonald going back with the flight of the ball. Martin dragged down by Lewis. Allison tried to crash his way through. Still he goes. Law kicks towards the outer side. Can they see out the term north? I think they will as Robertson runs it to the boundary line. Great defence and take a bow. Donald McDonald. That was great the way he went back with the flight of the ball there to give a contest. Bucks go to it. Siren sounds. It's half-time at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. And that is symptomatic, I think, of North's second term not wanting to give up the ball. 7-12, 9-2, West Coast by 2 points. Well, a great term of football, that one. The Kangaroos, who trailed by 26 points at quarter time, have really warmed the hearts of their fans by coming back as strongly as they have. It was disciplined football. It was desperate football. And as I said, late in the term, they were prepared to work it forward in any way possible. Off the ground, deflecting it forward, no running in 2s and 3s, and suddenly the challenge squarely put for these West Coast Eagles. So half-time at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. And the West Coast Eagles lead 9-2-56 to North Melbourne 7-12-54. 7-12 North Melbourne. Great second term. So away we go. Harris is up and wins it down. Taken by Hart. Down towards half forward goes the Hart kick. It's going to be an Eagles free kick. And on the end of that, John Gastev gets up a little gingerly. Too far out to score, Gastev. Normally uses the ball pretty well. Not this time. Wide of the mark. Intended, I think, for Glendinning. Not enough carry. And John Law gets a fist on it and puts it out of bounds. John Kennedy. Not happy about something, obviously. 8 goals to 3-4 at quarter time. The Eagles led. Bucks go to it. Socket off the ground by Hart. Down towards full forward. McCann's in front. Jimmy Cracker does well. Well tackled by Glendinning. Worsfold couldn't pick it up. Now to Langdon, aided by that left foot. He goes down towards full forward. Must have been touched off the boot because Spargo wanted to go immediately. He took the ball and I think has been awarded a free kick. Has he? Or did the mark get paid there? I think it was a free. Push in the back to Paul Spargo.
From the back pocket, defending for North to the defensive 50-metre line. Eshenko is up to fist it clear. Comes to ground. Law pushes it out with Robertson, it was, who pushes it out wide towards German for North Melbourne. He's under plenty of pressure but gets it away. The hurried high kick is by Ben Buckley towards centre wing. No one able to take the mark. Laidley's got to effect the tackle on Larkin. Not quick enough because he gets it across to Cracker. In turn away to Allison. North go forward again, down towards full forward, and the mark's been taken by Jonas.
And wasn't it well executed in the end? He started sliding a long way from the ball and took the ball very high. And really one of the most difficult marks in football, at pace, on his knees.
Peter Jonas with one incredible goal to his credit to date. But that is not a good one. Perhaps he likes the really tough ones. Out of bounds on the full, and a chance for the Roos to grab the lead. Goes begging. So Lockyer to bring the football back into play. Again towards Eshenko, who tried to swipe it out the back. Jonas was there for North Melbourne. Goes in with body over the ball now. So too Robertson. But Jonas has got to find his feet. We'll see a bounce. On the right half forward flank, North trailing by 2 points. And really throwing down the challenge for the Eagles. They're trying to cement a spot in the 5. North are just trying to get wins on the board at the moment. Buckley again for North, sending them forward towards Cracker. Has it well fisted clear by Anir. Ugle beaten by Cracker. Back to Buckley. Danger here across to German from 50 metres. He fires in towards goal. Going across the face just ever so slightly, and a behind goes on the ball. The margin is now 1 point. 9-2 plays 7-13.
Andrew Lockyer gathers the ball. No doubt gathers his thoughts. Again, pressure applied early to the West Coast Eagles. Comes up his short run. into the path of Zanotti. Should have been paid the mark, and eventually is a slow whistle from the umpire. Or was it a free kick? It may have been the latter. He's got the ball on the outer side half-back flank. High kick towards centre wing. Pack into the air. Forward an opportunity for Robertson. He overran. Comes back towards him. Buckley in close attendance too. North have got the numbers. This is Buckley. Hooks it back towards half forward. Hepburn is up in front. Couldn't hang on. Forced towards the boundary line. Langdon to Zanotti. Half smothered. It bounces up towards centre wing. Cracker wanted it. That was Phil Cracker, or Jim rather. He battled hard for that one. Tried to soccer it off the ground to Nia. Wide of the pack now. An opportunity for Rance. Shrugs a tackle. Slips over. Still Murray Rance goes. Spins out of one tackle into another. Ania the high kick back towards the middle. It should be marked, and is, by Spargo. Spargo wants to go. It's made it a little awkward here for Jonas. Good shepherd though from a long kick into the forward line. In front Smith knocked away. Phil Cracker about 40 metres out. Phil Cracker pulls it back. It's a great kick. Goal to North.
So North have hit the front. They lead by 5 points as we go back for the centre bounce. Harris up against Ishenko. Won by Ishenko, but not taken out of the middle. The North players calling for a great tackle and holding the ball. The umpire Garland, will have none of it. So still virtually right in the middle. Ishenko goes it alone. Rance tries to tap it further forward. Comes out with a hurried hand pass. Oh, there was one that seemed a little bit high on Barrich. He's a little dazed behind play too, but it goes on. Langdon affects a late tackle. That was on McRae. Now Robertson taken out by Laidley. Lamb solidly met. Hart. The Eagles into attack. McCann chances his arm. Took the punt, but lost to Glendinning. It's a long kick. Is this going to be the reply? Lewis tries to shepherd it through, and I think he has. He has.
Well, Stephen McCann really did take the chance, and he did everything right except cover the football. And on a night when the ball is pretty slippery, it was, you know, you'd have to say there was a shade of bad luck in that, as Steve McCann just didn't quite get down far enough. And the Cardinal sin in football, never let the ball get behind you, especially in that. And Ross Glendinning made him pay the ultimate penalty.
Glendinning has 3 goals. Back in the centre again. One by Ishenko. Trying to take it out was Buckley. Ugle, a hurried kick. The Eagles into attack to Glendinning.
Oh.
In trouble. He's in trouble, Glendinning, I think. We'll keep an eye on him and watch this kick for goal. It's good. Kick by Lewis. So Ross Glendinning in the hands of the trainers at the moment. Let's have a look. There it goes there. Did you hear the ping?
I just wonder if it, in fact, might have been just his ankle went on the side. What a great kick again by Lewis. I mean, we really were looking at Glendinning, but remarkable goal again from Chris Lewis. I just think he might have pinched a nerve or something.
Well, Glendinning seems to be okay. Surprise, surprise. Some conjecture about just what did happen. Meanwhile, back in the middle, crashing through is Martin. Boots it towards half forward. Cracker knocked it down. Nobody wanted it. That was Phil. Brennan gets it across to Zanotti. He took a long time. Scrambles it towards the outer side. This is Peter German. Palms off a tackler. Goes for the short pass intended for Spargo. Phil Cracker well tackled by Lamb. Ball is jarred free. Ugle gets it across to Hart. And the Eagles move it forward. Long kick towards half forward. Glendinning was up. Opportunity behind for Langdon. Picks it up brilliantly. Then is well tackled by Law. The ball is jarred free and they'll bring it away. And McRae back towards the middle. Mark is taken by Worsfold. Down goes Allison. Well, he didn't go down. He sat on his feet, but he copped a backhander. Ball goes across and a great mark is taken by Spargo. What wonderful courage there.
Having a fine game, Dennis.
Yes. He really started to shine when Renstead came off the ground. They'd had a good duel up until then. Neither of them dominant. The ball on the outer side. Waiting behind Laidley. Robbed of the ball by Clarkson. Hepburn. Great vision. Goes over the top, and it's a free kick to the Eagles. I'm not sure what for. It'll be taken by Laidley on the outer side. Maybe a throw.
So Laidley at centre wing. The Eagles under real pressure. Plenty of flyers. No one able to take it. McDonald got up very high for North. It's pushed down towards Glendinning again. And cleverly, he tried to tap it across to Lewis. Larkin was there to intercept, however. Glendinning goes in again, trying to get the ball clear. McDonald pushes it wider to Law. He gets a quick kick down towards German. He's on half back. Goes with the left foot in towards the centre and finds Buckley. Buckley plays on, back to the running German. He's run right down, goes long, up towards the half-forward line. Lockyer forced to defensively push it over the line, and we will see a throw-in on the left half-forward flank. Scoreboard showing the Eagles 11-2, 68, leading North 8-13, 61. The margin 7 points. It's the throw-in. Ashenko trying to do it at the back once again. A chance for a near to scoop it up. Oh. He misses it. This lets Cracker in. Jimmy towards Phil. Oh, great duel here. Phil Cracker still going. Front spot, looking for the free kick, and he's got it.
That was well played by the trainer. Put that down in the stats as an effective kick. Probably as effective as any tonight.
And here we go as Zanotti come across and just dispossess Phil Cracker in a certain free kick.
So Cracker going for his third goal for the night.
Played pretty well tonight too. Done some very, very good stuff.
And North a chance once again to make the margin just 1 point. Cracker 25 metres out. The angle's certainly not acute. He'll come in with the left foot and he puts it straight through the middle.
It's a point the difference. The Eagles lead it. Tough, uncompromising game of football at the moment. North win it out through Harris. Spargo superbly. Down he goes, Spargo. He was taken high, and I don't know the umpire was going to play that initially until Spargo was holding his head on the ground. And now 50 metres. So Paul Spargo, for a superb piece of football, has a chance to kick a goal. Peter Cameron has stepped it out. Paul Spargo, son of a former star at Footscray and at West Perth. Bob Spargo, a chance to put North Melbourne back in front. Should get this. He does. North lead by 5 points.
From that replay there, I just think sometimes that the boot off the ground, Dennis, is a bit uncomplimentary to the guy doing it. That is, I mean, the ball was there to be kicked, and Spargo had the courage of his convictions to put his head over the ball, and you'd have to say it was a pretty well-earned free kick, I thought.
Just watching that replay, Mel, I thought his own player hit him in the head.
I think that was the second result. Yes, you're quite right. That was called the second effort, Dennis.
The second effort. Right, I understand. 5 points the difference. North lead. What a marvellous comeback it's been. Down goes Clarkson, off the ground by Harris, knocked on by Hepburn. North in number, off the ground by Spargo superbly. Into the path of Cracker. Phil Cracker goes over the top. Buckley should goal. Buckley into an open goal, gets it. North Melbourne on fire.
As their side moves to an 11-point lead. Now, what can the Eagles do to come back? Spargo tries to sock her off the ground. Goes as far as Brennan, however. Could be a free kick down the ground. In fact, it will go to Ross Glendinning. He'll kick from probably 46 metres, and an excellent chance to peg back this gap. Glendinning almost directly in front. They trail by 11 points. They trail by 10, I fear. Yes, he's off target.
Booing Ross Glendinning, the North fans. Oh.
Short memories. 11-13. Plays 11-3. 10 points the margin. What's turned out to be a very tight, tough encounter. Worsfold onto the left foot, looking for Lewis. Cleverly over the back by Lewis. Rance got one high, then he's lost the football. North doing it in numbers. German gets a high kick. It comes back towards centre wing. And a good mark taken in front by Love. Bootless. but with the football. Jonas the flyer. Zanotti coming over the top to affect the spoil. Spargo, he's picked up a ton of possessions. Wobbles this one towards the right half forward line, and it spins away across the line for another throw-in. This is Kennedy and Dugdale in the north dugout, keeping an eye on proceedings. Very close eye. Yashenko over the back, taken by Larkin. No one able to get clear, and again it will wobble over the line. Ben Buckley was tackled and lost the football. So we'll wait for another throw-in. No one able to break clear, but North pegged back that big deficit. They lead by 10 points. Yashenko was looking for Gastev, didn't find him. Instead, Worsfold, a hurried left foot kick towards the centre wing area, and it's taken over the line. Dwayne Lamb put under plenty of pressure by Donald McDonald.
Done a pretty good job too, Donald McDonald at centre half back. He's kept Murray Rance very, very quiet tonight.
Throw in again, and it'll be McDonald and Rance. Still with Rance, he fists it towards Lamb. Now Gastev, but he won't get there in time either. And so we're gradually going round the boundary line with a throw in every 15 metres at the moment. Barry Cable. Bit of concern in the Eagles camp. Buckley unable to take it. Gastev flicked it out to Laidley. Langdon from behind. Law playing in front. And we'll see a bounce. Are we on the 50-metre line? So 50 metres out from the Eagles' goal. They trail by 10 points. Past Gastev it goes. Good desperation shown by Clarkson. That kick will be out of bounds well and truly on the full. In fact, into the 7th row of seats. That young man delighted. Home to Dad, I got a touch of the footy.
He did the right thing too. He gave it back. Tough to pinch it down there, I expect.
Laidley to half forward. John Law, the only one that flew.
Plays on quickly to German, who's been a fine player. Possibly North's most consistent player on the season. Laidley, a good mark. So far in this term, the Eagles have added 13 points. Normally, on balance of play this season, the third term has been their most productive term. They're averaging 35 points coming into this game. This is Worsfold off the ground. Downwards full forward. Glendenning leads back. Soccer's off the ground. And what's he done? He's got the goal. Ross Glendenning. His 4th. And they've shown this capacity all season long. The West Coast Eagles to dig themselves out of a hole and come back.
As we watch the replay here, and Worsfold did the right thing, and once again Steve McCann just not quite in the right spot, and Ross Glendenning was able to put him off the ball and really did measure that soccer off the ground. And his 4th goal, and he really has been the player up forward, looking very dangerous.
4 goals tonight for Ross Glendenning, 29 in the season. Harris wins it down, knocked on by Hepburn. About 10.5 minutes remain in the term. Up comes Cracker, Phil Cracker, put his body in, knocked on by Hepburn. It's taken by Clarkson. He's well tackled. It's jarred free. Hand pass comes out from Love, back to Hepburn, who's a long kick. It goes down towards full forward. Larkin in from the side, but a fine defensive mark is taken down there by Laidley. That's a couple of them in the space of a minute. Dean Laidley, right on his own goal line. Back to the members' side. Allison couldn't hang on. Ugle hasn't done too well tonight. Close to the boundary line. Cracker does well for North. Gets it around the corner, and the mark is taken by Love. Love will go in short. Phil Cracker, can he get there? Yes, he can. Just got there. A lunge, a desperate lunge by Phil Cracker. Gives him the ball on about the 50-metre line. He's kicked 3.
Would just stretch his kicking ability too, I think.
There's the short one, and as you saw, it was a mark. 79 to 75. Cracker goes in short, and down on his knees, the mark is taken by McDonald, who can kick it a long way.
Did you see that? Jimmy Cracker held the ball up in the air to make out like he's going long. It's a little ploy North Melbourne have got, I would think, and that means someone start leading into a hole.
The if Jim did it. It was very clever. That is a sleight of hand, Malcolm.
Phil, I meant.
But I wouldn't argue. This is McDonald. He'll get the distance. He'll get the accuracy. Goldenhoff.
Points, Hart. Out of the centre for the Eagles. Wide to the running Gastev. Kicking from 55 metres. It's down towards Glendinning. Spoiled by McCann, but Glendinning recovers. Snaps over his shoulder. Off target. And one behind.
This is a marvellous player, isn't he? Really, his recovery is fantastic.
Looks so dangerous as soon as he gets that football in front of the goals. Tucked in the back pocket now is Clarkson. Going high to the half-back line. Plenty of flyers. Law. Got his kick. But the free kick will go back to Dean Laidley. Well, the Eagles want the next goal. He goes to half forward. Hart tries to flick it over the back. Cracker under pressure from Glendinning and still going. So too McDonald. Glendinning soccers off the ground towards Chris Lewis. He falls at the critical time, however, and it's cleverly pushed towards the boundary line and sockered over by Martin.
Haven't we seen a lot of soccer off the ground tonight? Yep. You know, it's part of football on slippery conditions. Been well played by both sides.
Here's the throw in. Cracker tackled by Lewis. Didn't have the football. Oh! I think he might lose it.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Well, the book has come out. Jim Cracker has had his number taken. See him go down here. That was when he was awarded the free kick because he did not have the football. What did you think?
I didn't think there was much in it.
No, actually, Dennis, I agree with you.
Just trying to brush his arm off aggressively, yeah.
Well, he's had his number taken. He's lost the football, and so Lewis will kick from around 50 metres.
Yep. A little bit silly, but
yes, when you've got the football, I mean, that's what the game's all about. And just that little bit of frustration, although, you know, it didn't look all that bad, really.
just token stuff.
Yes.
So Lewis is going to have a shot. He's kicked 4 goals. He won't add to that. Towards half forward it goes. Knocked clear. Hart unable to pick it up. Socced back towards Worsfold. He loses it, but he does have backup support, and he's needing it. Rance is in trouble too. So was Laidley. Past Jonas. There's real pressure on there now. It'll be interesting to see how North responds to that. Love gets it out wide. An opportunity for Spargo. Loses the football. The advantage rule is paid. And perhaps that was a little unfortunate because it dropped straight onto the chest of Lockyer, and he's able to repel that North attack. Gives it across to Hart, who can run up forward.
Hart goes down towards half forward, then kicks it down towards full forward. Up was Lewis, couldn't take the mark. Trying to go through was Barrett. He paddles it towards the boundary line, and we've got a throw in. Enormous pressure in this game.
Dennis, I don't want to sound too biased, but I thought that umpire's call then of play on with a person running away under pressure like that is really not the time to call play on.
I think you're right. 6:40 remaining in this third term. Law, held by the arm, manages a scrambled kick towards half back. Allison does well in a tight situation. Breaks the weight as Allison. Runs it up towards centre wing. Feeds it inside. This is Jim Cracker. Cracker goes down towards half forward. What a beautiful kick. It's taken by Clarkson. That was ambitious. He collided with Ugle. He'll get a free kick. That was pretty lucky. Maybe a lack of talking, but there was no hesitation at all from Clarkson. He didn't break stride. His intention was to go. No doubt about the kick. Clarkson, centering kick. What can Smith do? He can jump a mile. Couldn't get his hands to it. Opportunity now. The ball is hand passed out from German. Taken by Jonas. I think he's missed. It's a behind. North have squandered a few opportunities late in the second term and through most of this. In fact, the hand pass came out from Love to Jonas. It was a good one. Jonas should have got the goal. Here's Laidley, boots it in, Member's side.
The margin is still 10 points. Gastev couldn't take it, but support with Hart. Oh, he's lost the football. A clever little chip out towards Jonas, who's got Cracker in the hole. He steadies, goes onto the left foot, but goes right across the face of goal, and Laidley will see it go over the top, so Phil Cracker not being able to add to his 3 goals that he has to date in this game. Laidley brings it back into play, going short to Brennan. Time to have a look towards the centre. Then going wide, Worsfold needs support. Handball made Gastev prop a little, and they're going to lose it. North through sheer weight of numbers. Allison to half forward. But dropping back once again is Laidley, who's taken some good marks across that half back line. He's got Lamb out wide. Hasn't got a lot to kick to. Goes with a long hand pass, trying to draw a near. He's under pressure and he's claimed. But too high, said the umpire, and now the North fans are not happy.
John Anea with the ball, forward in centre wing. Looking rather dishevelled. The vice-captain goes towards centre half forward. North have got the numbers. Martin over the top, but knocks it directly to Turner. Turner goes goalward. And that's a goal. No, it's a behind. Well, he should have done better there. He's quite nonchalant, Dean Turner, having kicked the ball. Didn't show any emotion. 12-14 to 12-5. 4:23 and counting down. Law has the ball on the outer side. Gets it to Martin. He's had a tough contract tonight, marking Chris Lewis. Has restricted him, but Lewis has bobbed up to kick some goals. Martin long towards half forward. Shenko is up, couldn't take the mark. Zanotti waiting behind. This is Larkin, who's drifted out of the game in this term, to Spargo. He's been a fine player. Long kick down towards full forward. Hepburn was up, knocked away by Miles, taken by Bryce. Bryce the snapshot back towards full forward. It bounces out of bounds in the pocket.
North again looking to add to their 12 goals, 14-86. The Eagles at 12-5, 77. 9 points the margin. Jonas over the top, can't pluck it out of the air. Barrage couldn't take it, Larkin can. It goes high. Lockyer underneath it. And with shepherding is able to clear back towards the half back line. The mark taken by Lamb. He steadies towards half forward. Anear's run down. He's loose. He goes up towards full forward. At the back will be Lewis coming over the top. Recovers beautifully. And this is another one to Chris Lewis.
One down by Shenko. Cracker with great courage. Jim Cracker diving after that ball. Inside 3 minutes now. And the boys on a short fuse. It's that sort of game. It's been tough, certainly, from midway through the opening term. So a ball up just forward of the centre circle for the Eagles. We're set for a great finish. Harris and Ashenko, one down by the ladder, taken away by Buckley. Into the forward line goes the kick. Jonas takes the mark uncontested. Jonas. His kicking has been a straight tonight. Has an opportunity from about 35 metres out on a very slight angle. There goes his kick. Again, he's wayward, missing to the right-hand side. Minus Gore.
North making another change. Martin is off, back on the ground. Sean Smith.
There's Martin. And North lead by 4 points. Kick in from Lockyer. Comes behind the pack. Allison. He's been a handy player. Clarkson. Confronted by Brennan, tries to work it through the pack. This is Worsfold, surrounded to Gastev, running out of space. He keeps it in play. Clarkson again, long kick towards full forward. In front down there was Bryce, had it knocked away, knocked on by Brennan, taken by Larkin. Out towards Cracker. Phil Cracker over the ball. Still he battles. It spills to Jonas. Can he snap one? No, he can't. I doubt it'll be paid a mark. Fisted away by Worsfold, taken by Brennan.
A high kick by Brennan. Harris getting underneath it. Almost takes a good mark. Can't quite hold it. Spargo under pressure. Well tackled by Hart. Loses the football. McDonald tries to force his way through. Now Zanotti. Clear of Cracker. Gets his kick just in time, but it goes straight onto the chest of Law. John Law just on the defensive side of centre. Time winding down. in this all-important third quarter. Lockyer leaves it for Barrage, who was beautifully bumped off the football. Socket past Zanotti. He chases now with courage. Comes out with it, then scoops it back. Here's an opportunity for Ugle. Now Anir. The Eagles go into attack. Glendinning, again, use of the body. Still seems a little proppy on that leg, but he gets his kick in towards full forward. Over the head of Lewis it goes. It's tapped wide towards the defensive 50-metre line and over the line for a throw-in. So North Melbourne holding them out in the dying seconds. Ishenko again being spelled. 87 plays 83. North by 4 points. Is there time for the Eagles to get a score before the siren sounds? Larkin will be first to it. Keeps the ball in play. Buckley under pressure. Back to Larkin. Back to Buckley. They've gathered about 4.3 metres so far, but they've maintained the football. And time may run out. In fact, it has. So we're set for a big last quarter at three-quarter time. North 12-15, 87. The lead, the West Coast Eagles, 13-5, 83.
North Melbourne lead by 4 points. We're set for a great finish. Scott over the top wins it. Spargo, as he's done all night, drives North forward. Punched away down there by Barrage. Wide of the pack now, an opportunity for Clarkson on the 50-metre line, getting closer to goal. Is the accuracy there? It looks pretty good. Great start by North Melbourne. Clarkson at long range. North Melbourne stretched their lead. It's out to 10.
Clarkson's second goal for the night. And what an important one in the opening minute of the quarter.
Yes, it came off Matthew Larkin's boot, and Clarkson, who was running by the pack and on the move, found it. And just see the way he straightened there, Sandy. It was terrific. He really just did line his body up with the straight at the goals and a lovely long kick.
Just the start John Kennedy would have wanted. 13-15 to 13-5. What can the Eagles do now? Scott opposed to Harris. It falls at their feet. Scrambled out by Lamb towards centre wing. It comes to a complete stop and a brilliant pickup by Law.
With a high kick in towards the half-forward line, and Jonas on all fours. Now Cracker spoons it out the back. The Roos are alight as Love goes in towards full forward with a high kick. Fisted clear. That was by Lockyer. Gets it down to his teammate, who kicks back towards that half-back line. The juggling mark not going to be paid to Brennan. Play on is the call. German down towards the left half-forward flank. The Eagles now under great pressure. Scott gets a hurried kick. Mark should have been taken by Robertson. It wasn't. But Law lends support to half-forward. Hart trying to clear. It's a high kick. Ugle from behind. Now Buckley caught, but North running in numbers at the moment. Clear was German and McDonald. A high kick from McDonald back towards the half-forward line. A push-out has been picked up on Jonas, and so he'll take the free kick from around 55. He may go for a big torp here. Let's see. He doesn't quite get onto it though. It drifts into the square. Who's going to be first to recover? It's another one, kicked by Love. I don't think it's anything serious, but the Eagles are feeling the pressure. Ishenko is back on the ground. Ugle has been taken from it. Well, Peter Donegan mentioned that John Todd was not happy with Ishenko's performance. Let's see what he can do. He immediately comes onto the ball. So now that that ball has been sorted out, we go back to the centre. North leading by an impressive 16 points from the centre. It's Buckley who sends them into attack again, down towards the 50-metre line. Phil Cracker, great mark, plays on. Larkin, he's kicked one miraculous goal. Don't tell me he's going to do it again. No, he can't.
My word, he certainly gave it a scare.
Gave it a big scare. 100 plays 83, 17 points the margin. Lockyer back into play for the Eagles.
Slightly favouring the outer side. Fisted forward by Harris. Gaston goes to ground. Spinning through the congestion there is McRae. Well done. It's knocked on by Love. Ball spills wide. Taken by Clarkson from the deflection of Larkin. Clarkson holding the ball surely. Miles pins him in that back pocket. The Eagles under real pressure though. And the ball deep in North's attacking zone. Miles. The Eagles trail by 17 points. The ball high to the outer side. Roving the pack is Hart. A little indecisive Hart. Boots it out wide. Good kick. And the mark is taken by Ania. Ania just forward of the centre line. Plays on. Kicks towards half forward. It favours North. And McCann comes up to take the mark, almost uncontested. That's ambitious. Sean Smith in real trouble. Gets it back to McCann. It needs a kick. He comes very wide towards the boundary and puts it out of bounds on the full, and that was sloppy football. Well, Smith should have just ran with the ball and booted out wide. No need to bounce in that situation. No real margin for error. This is Worsfold on centre wing. A chance to send the Eagles back into attack. There goes his high kick. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Trying to knock on is Scott. Well done too into the path of Hart. Hart in a central situation. Pulls it down towards full forward. One out contest. Glendinning has it knocked away by McCann. Nobody wants it. Gastiff picks it up nonchalantly like going out to get the morning paper. And he misses to the left-hand side.
1 point. The margin is now 16 points. But the Eagles would certainly want the next goal. John Law with just on 21 minutes remaining. Still plenty of time for the Eagles if they're good enough, but if North should get the next one, it's going to make their job pretty tough. John Todd, who was not a happy man at three-quarter time, still looking very concerned. Scott and McDonald to do battle on the outer side. McDonald has been all night for North Melbourne. So too is this man in Allison. Got a pretty young side, North. They've got some great young tries. And Allison feeling the effects of the pressure. McDonald goes it along. There's going to be a free kick for an illegal shepherd, and it's going to go the way of the West Coast Eagles, Scott. So he'll kick down towards the danger zone as far as North is concerned. Lewis and Glendinning. Lewis gives him a bit of a drift into the pocket, but he'll go long. He's got Glendinning one out in the square. It's a good-looking drop punt. Might just about make the distance. McCann get a touch? He did. Oh. Right on the last line.
You'd have to say that's a very, very important touch too.
85 plays 100. 15 points the margin. McCann to the outer side of the ground. Thumped over the back. An opportunity for Lamb if he can get there quickly enough. He can't. Love got back and spooned it clear towards Spargo, running through. North starting to set it up once again and looking dangerous. If they got a player running through the middle, they have in McRae. Now down to Jonas. Back again to McRae. Was it one too many? He's drifted into the pocket. He's got to kick it high. Right into the square it goes. Cracker as the flyer. And it's defensively pushed over for one behind, but ever so dangerously.
Oh, what a magnificent build-up. And Dean McRae just had to hang on to that football, and it was a goal for certain.
There's Lockie with the ball. Members side. Hashenko is up. Harris does well. No, the mark is paid. Good lucky the Eagles. They've had a push in the back perhaps. There's Hashenko. Towards centre wing. Good kick, and the mark is taken by Scott to Gastiff. Gastiff, an intelligent kick into the path of Langdon. He'll want his left foot, but he's got ample time to settle. This should be a goal. Langdon about 30 metres out and closing. And he gets it. No trouble at all. Great kick, Gastiff.
In the middle, there's 10 points the difference, favouring North Melbourne. Hashenko beaten, but it still gets it out of the centre through Dwayne Lamb. It's a long kick towards Glendinning and Lewis. No one able to take it. Law overruns it. This allows Langdon in again, but he gets bundled out of it. McCann has followed play down, and he gets North Melbourne out of trouble. Back towards the centre of the ground, and the mark is taken once again by Ben Buckley. Player going past his Larkin. Now he can kick a football, so he immediately goes short. It was good, however, and finds Martin.
That's fantastic football when you watch that, isn't it? With the player running down and then delivering to Martin, who had his problems early in defence and now's got a chance to perhaps make a tone for some of Chris Lewis's goals.
So Martin will kick from around 46 metres. Slight stammer in his approach. The drop punt is on its way. He's made no mistake. So North answer the challenge. And once again, the margin is 16 points.
just looking at what perhaps the Eagles can do now. They've got Phil Scott playing at centre-half forward and Peshenko on the ball, so they've got all their big tall timber out there. And when you look at it, that excellent kick again, excellent skills from Matthew Larkin. They really have got a lot of tall players out there. In conditions like this, Dennis, you just wonder sometimes.
Yeah, I think you're right.
North have 11 players that have contributed goals so far tonight, exemplifying their team performance. But the Eagles aren't done with yet. Larkin clear for North, however. Down towards the flank. Love tried to get the handball clear. It may come back to him. He'll be under pressure. He looks a little tired, but he's still going with the football. Gets dragged to the ground. Eventually it comes clear, and the Eagles are able to push it back towards the centre wing. There are some tired-looking players out there, but it's been tough. Very tough for 3.5 quarters. Lamb picks himself up. And a throw in at the centre wing position. Scott wins it. Larkin front position. As he tackled high, he was going to ground. Takes the ball over the line.
He was tackled high, Sandy, but the umpire couldn't see it, and I'd rather him not guess.
Throw in again. Won by McDonald with a big thump down towards the wing. An opportunity for North through Clarkson to the 50-metre line. Peshenko went for the big thump. It finishes with Brennan. Back in towards the middle. Courage shown by Harris. Scott tried to tap it down towards Hart. Now he spoons it wide to Rance, who's claimed. Play goes on as Harris, however, gets a quick kick straight to Worsfold. Play on, he's called. Now Barrage. Put down after he kicked the football, according to the umpire. And so we'll see a free kick relayed down, and this is going to go to Scott.
You know what he did wrong there was jumped in the air, gave an intention of aggression, and the umpires sometimes don't like that. If he kept his feet and just run through him, I think it was quite legal.
So Scott from just outside 50 metres hasn't been too busy tonight, and that kick is off target. One behind. 14-8-92. North Melbourne 15-17, 107. The margin 15 points.
McCann, who's had a titanic battle down there with Ross Glendinning, brings it to the members' side. It's a high kick. Scott, up he goes, trying to knock it forward. Couldn't get good purchase on that one. As a result, an opportunity wide of the pack for German. He's slung. Worsfold does well. Over the top to Lamb. Lamb tried to get it across to support, and Scott coming in was Clarkson. He slips over, and running it across the line is McDonald. We'll have a throw in.
Not a big crowd tonight, Dennis, but what there is of 10,133 fans, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Yes, great contest. North Melbourne have come back superbly. They stood up the West Coast Eagles a big start. This is Turner, but the Eagles have shown the capacity to come from behind. They did that last Friday night against Footscray. This is McCann. He's got other ideas. Breaks away. Long kick towards centre field. Tracker taken under the ball by Barrage. Opportunity for Jim. It was Phil who was nudged under the ball. This is Spargo. Spargo goes to the pocket, and the mark is taken by Martin. He's already kicked one. It came in this term. He's been switched onto the forward line. He's a long way out. About 10 metres in from the line, he'll take this kick on the 50-metre line. Michael Martin.
She leads very well, Dennis. The two forays they've had into attack North Melbourne, he's certainly led very well.
I would imagine the Crackers would encourage you to do that. There goes Martin, long down towards full forward. Pack into the air, it's fisted away, and again out to Turner. Turner's in real trouble. Brilliantly picked up by Jim Cracker. Can he finish it? Yes, he can. What a marvellous goal.
Jim Cracker's first goal. Just under 14 minutes remaining. What can the Eagles do? Rance gets the handball away. They need a goal, and they need it very smartly. Down towards Lewis, trying to get front spot, but he can't do so. He'll be first to the football, but he's got no support whatsoever. Larkin crashes into him. They both go to ground. But North are able to draw away through McDonald, back towards the centre wing area. Over the head of Turner it goes. Will it wobble over the boundary line? Yes, it will.
He has played very well, Donovan. Just then, there was the time that he really could have set it up. There were a couple of loose North Melbourne players, and that's when he just needs to lift his eyes a little bit.
92 plays 113 in favour of North. Yashenko can't get a decisive tap away. Going to ground was Clarkson. He'll take the free kick on centre wing. Alistair Clarkson. To half forward. Waiting is Phil Cracker. Down towards full forward again, but Lockyer at the back. Takes a timely mark. Plays on to Laidley in the back pocket. Goes wider towards Worsfold. He needs help, so he soccers it forward. That was clever play. Towards Rance. Goes inside to Gastev, had an airy. May lose the football. Will. Past Jim Cracker. Laidley. Under pressure. Love. Towards the boundary. Still going to be kept in play. Miles. A big soccer off the ground. To Worsfold. On the outer side of the ground. The Eagles desperately trying to get something going. Here's Rance again, centering the football. Langdon fell at the critical stage, but was still able to tap it back. Now the North defence under pressure, and they've withstood it pretty well in the last 15 minutes or so, and particularly in the third quarter. They're going to do it now. Clarkson is clear. From the defensive side of centre wing, he wobbles one up towards the left half forward flank. It will be kept in play. Brennan kicks it back towards the wing, straight to Clarkson. He goes to ground. North Melbourne fans now calling for a free kick down the ground, but it won't happen.
This is Hart. Out wide to Lamb. A tired man, Lamb. He runs towards half forward. Kick of a tired man. It wobbles down towards centre half forward. Somehow it's got out by North Melbourne. This is Larkin. Brilliant tackle by Glendinning. Down he goes. Gastev. Through a head, scissors Gastev. He goes long towards full forward. That's a pretty good effort from there. John Gastev's got the goal. Man Matthew Larkin to the ground. That's what they've got to finish up. Spargo knocks it out of the centre. North have been just as resilient tonight. They've been superb, North. Can they get the answering goal? Another goal to the Eagles quickly would make it very interesting. This is Buckley. Towards half forward goes the kick. Leading in the race down there is Laidley. In close attendance is Clarkson.
And I would think, Dennis, that a lot of people might think this is a form reversal for North, and perhaps it is, but a lot of their good footy last year was played under lights at the MCG on Friday nights.
And of course they beat the Eagles at the Wacker late in the season with what was a makeshift team.
Yes.
15 points the difference. North lead. Boundary throw in.
Yashenko. Zanotti. Trying to push the ball forward. Gets it back towards the centre. Harris. Buckley. Onto the left foot. It's a high kick inside 50 metres once again. Yashenko taps it inside. Could be dangerous. Could be very dangerous. Hepburn has a snap at goal, but he just drifts it across the face. One behind.
16-18.
Plays 15-8. 114 to 98. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this game that could be taken by anyone at the moment. Yashenko looking for it. It didn't come his way. Harris, his opposition, loses it. Back with him again. The big fella gets a hurried kick. Larkin called to play on. No one to help him. Laidley got his kick as he was pushed, and the ball may beat them over the boundary line. No, Allison keeps it in play. Then goes very, very high. Miles puts a smashing fist through it and sends it back towards centre wing. Coming down is McDonald again. He pumps one long in towards full forward. Once again, the Eagles' defence. Lockyer tested. Towards the boundary line is Lamb. He loses it. Lockyer straight to the boundary line. And another throw in. Oh, gee, there's some pressure out there, Malcolm.
There certainly is, Sandy, and there's some tight-looking players too. They've all got hands on hips. It's been a pretty hard night. It's been up and down and a very quick game.
And, of course, a little bit slippery, which would make it even more difficult. Still, no one able to pick it up there. Eventually, the hurried kick was by German in towards full forward. Now Jonas and Zanotti. Zanotti there first. He almost ran into his own teammate in Gastev. This has opened it up for Jonas. He hooks it over his shoulder. Back towards full forward. Worsfold the flyer. Missed it. And 1 point, the end result. So North Melbourne 115 to the West Coast Eagles 98. 3 straight kicks would do it for the Eagles.
Trail by 17 points. Lockyer, Cooley in short to Laidley. He's been a solid player tonight towards the outer side. Scott must get a free kick. He wants to go. That's ambitious. The kick not a good one as a result. Moved a little prematurely. This is McCann. He's out in front of Glendinning. He knocks it towards the boundary line. Will he find it? Murray Rance right on the boundary line. He's had a very quiet night. He's taken the ball out of bounds. And the ball will be thrown in outer side.
Ross Glendinning hasn't looked as sharp after that little incident in the third quarter. He seems to be caught behind a lot at the moment.
Harris goes up. Behind the pack, an opportunity for Hart. Too far out to score. It's a high kick down towards full forward. Knocked away from Glendinning. He recovers and gets the goal. 5 to Glendinning.
It is an amazing game, football, isn't it? You can always get them a kick. Just all those sorts of things happen, and all of a sudden Ross Glendinning, the champion that he is, fights back and kicks his 5th goal. And we have certainly got a game on our hands, as it has been other than the first 15 minutes of the game. And here we see the pushing and the shoving, and the ball's ended up back with Ross, and a lovely little chip over the line.
Glendinning, 2 goals in the first quarter, 2 in the third, and now that one. So the Eagles are back in business. It's just 11 points the difference, with North Melbourne leading. But it's the Eagles through Lamb into attack once again. Coming out on a long lead was Lewis. Couldn't take the mark. A tiled Donald McDonald runs it over the line. And another throw-in. Well, they've got it inside 50, the Eagles. If they get another one now, watch out. There's the throw-in. Scott looking for Worsfold. Tried to tap it clear. Cracker unable to get it away. Neither can Law effectively. Pushes it down in front of German, who's quite happy to just run it over the line for another throw-in. 115 plays 104, favouring the Kangaroos. Taking it outside 50. Langdon, Jonas both missed it. Langdon tried to get a handball out. Renstead over the top. And, again, the umpire has got to bring a halt to proceedings.
Once the ball stays on the ground for any length of time, it becomes very, very slippery, and it makes it very, very hard for everyone to pick it up. But everyone's really working hard in those packs.
It's been a great contest for the bulk of the game. McDonald trying to go over the top. Anir. Oh. To be free kick. Just outside 50 now. What's he going to do? He's got Lewis calling for it in the square. Now Lewis comes out, but he's almost sandwiched. A big thump is almost as good as a kick towards Buckley. Back with Buckley again, but the umpire's calling the advantage now, so Buckley gets his kick just in time. Hepburn makes front spot. Can't complete the mark. Support from Larkin. His hand pass is intercepted, however, by Brennan. A great tackle on Hart sees him go to ground. Larkin again trying to get it clear. So too Spargo. And the free kick has been picked up. And it's going to go the way.
Marvellous stuff by Spargo twice. The tackle, then he came back.
Yep, there's his kick down to German, but he's going to lose it. An illegal shepherd, says the umpire. And so Alex Oshenko from the defensive 50-metre line to put the Eagles out of trouble.
Oshenko going for distance. Again, a tired kick. It falls in short, and Buckley, who's had a very good last quarter, takes the mark, plays on quickly and goes out wide to Larkin.
Anir off, Ugal on.
Larkin, 60 metres from goal, spears the pass in, and the mark is taken by Love.
What excellent skills again from Matthew Larkin.
I suppose you've got to say any side with the 2 crackers, Larkin and German, has got to be a chance to win any game of football. And they've come back tonight superbly. Look at that pass.
Yes, the perfect pass in football.
Jason Love. Will this put the Eagles out of the contest? 4:24 remains. There goes the kick. Love gets the goal. He's elated.
And Hepburn's kick is partly smothered, but they've got them in numbers, North Melbourne. The kick goes down towards that half-forward line from Allison. Only to see Lockyer intercept. Lockyer's kick. And back towards half-back. There's a fine grab taken there by this man Larkin. We just saw him spear that pass into Love.
Here he goes, holding the ball on the head.
Up it goes. Now, is someone going to drop into the hole? It's
yes,
Cracker.
Yes.
So now that you've mentioned that, Malcolm, every other side in the league is aware of this little North Melbourne trick.
Well, it's like anything. If you use it once and you win it, I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, that's what the whole idea is about.
Here's the kick. It's a torpedo punt, and it's a long one too. It hits the post.
That tactic will work once next week. They'll go long.
Yes.
The first time.
So a point to North Melbourne and Cracker.
Yes, you've got to go back to the blackboard each week, Dennis.
That's right.
In this coaching caper.
Just over 3 minutes remaining. North lead by 18 points. The Eagles are going to have to do something and do it very, very quickly. Spargo's kick was high. Waiting down, Renstead. Claim, but gets his kick just in time across the centre. Cracker, Jim Cracker, getting it across to Donald McDonald. He shrugs the tackle, then goes powerfully onto his left foot, down towards full forward again. No one able to take it for North, however. And again, the Eagles are able to get clear.
Laidley comes out wide, looking for the safety of the boundary line, but that's not going to win it from here. Dean Laidley has played a very good game tonight. A player of enormous promise, only a youngster. 17-20 to 16-8. There's the boundary throw in. Schenko's in front, battling hard against him. Harris decidedly won by Harris down to German. Buckley liked his game since half-time. This is Clarkson. Gets it across to support, left behind by German. Slapped out of there by a tired Zanotti. Clarkson picks it up, humps it long towards full forward. Down in front is Martin. It's fisted away by Miles. Wide of the pack, an opportunity for Gastev. Now Ugle off the ground, but one sense is perhaps that the Eagles have run their race. This is Larkin on the outer side wing. Even he's making mistakes now, but he redeems himself. Matthew Larkin feeds it off. They're toying with the Eagles at the moment. McDonald goes long back inside 50. Missed by Lockyer. The defence under enormous pressure. It comes across to Miles.
Miles kick after taking the hand pass from Laidley, however. Dropped short. So Allison a chance again to send North deep into attack. Ishenko at the front of the pack. Laidley kicks it behind.
Oh, an own goal, almost.
North Melbourne, 38 scoring shots. The West Coast Eagles, 24. And the margin is 19 points. So has time run out for the West Coast Eagles? I think it may have. Spargo tries to get in the way. Can't do anything. Rance, who's been desperately quiet, gets it back to Hart. He goes long. Lewis is out on a lead. Can't take it. How can he recover? He's on the 50-metre line. Has no support whatsoever as McDonald pushes the ball along in front. Then picks it up. Gets a hurried, wobbly kick, but it falls straight to Hart. Tucked on the boundary line. He hooks it back, looking for Glendinning or Langdon. Glendinning still going, but he does seem very proppy ever since that incident earlier on in the game. It certainly hasn't stopped him in front of goal, however. Renstead got it clear. This could be another one to Langdon. A belated goal. It is to the Eagles.
Listen, that's his third goal, and as I said, he's had a fairly good battle with John Law. I think John Law's probably won just a shade on the night, and the response, of course, when the Eagles kick a goal, Dennis, is pretty quiet, and most Melbourne sides, of course, have that same effect when travelling to Perth.
Yes, there's Donald McDonald. I think the only difference between tonight and the game in Perth is more people are quiet in Perth. Only 10,000 here tonight, a few over. Donald McDonald in the hands of the trainers. And North Melbourne with just 25 seconds remaining in this game. That's especially for Jimmy Main. Ball one wide, knocked out of there by Lamb. Knocked on by Oshenko. Wide of the pack, it's socket off the ground by Cracker. Brennan leads in the race, but the clock is against the Eagles now. Jim Cracker, who's on report, paddles it towards the boundary line. German's got it. German towards half forward. 5 seconds remaining in the game. Brennan appeared to be held. Away come the Eagles out of defence. All to no avail. There's the siren. A marvellous performance by North Melbourne. Their second victory of the season. And he's got reason to be very proud. Yes, they went and got it, and they did that with it as well. A marvellous performance by those Kangaroos tonight. They've got reason to celebrate. We saw the Eagles come storming at them to start this game with early goals, 4 or 5 on the trot. I don't think North knew what had hit them. And they've regrouped like a very together football team, and they've come back and they've matched it with the Eagles, and they've outlasted them.
Well, that loss throws the spotlight onto the Eagles-St Kilda clash next Friday at the Wacker. It's a game they have to win as a buffer to the acid test of the season as they take on Hawthorn and Carlton back-to-back after that. For North Melbourne, a heartening win and perhaps a return to their winning form. Tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock, Chris Young will present a highlights replay of the match of the day between Collingwood and Hawthorn. Should be a great game. Until then, on behalf of 7 Sport, good night.